They don't want revenge, they just want what's right. Families of those killed in the Hunter Valley bus crash still grappling with grief, now struggling to comprehend this. The driver's manslaughter charges dropped. Brett Button striking a plea deal as we learn he had prescription drugs in his system. Adam Bray, whose son Zach died in the crash, joins me from Jakarta. Adam, I know it's been a really rough day. How are you feeling about what's happened?
Ali, it's been a exhaustive journey. It will continue. This fiasco is obviously a setback. It reopens wounds and triggers and evokes obviously some anger. But trying to be balanced and stick with the facts and hopefully we can achieve some positive outcomes.
I imagine though that that's pretty tough today because you lost your son Zach and he was one of 10 beautiful people who were killed that day, and now almost a year on, to learn all of the manslaughter charges against Brett Button have been dropped. I don't think any of us saw that coming.
You know, the 10 families have been in communication with the DPP, which we thought was all great and wonderful. That were updated privately and personally. Not that we have a voice, but at least our views are heard. And 5 weeks ago, we were running 89 charges, including 10 charges of manslaughter. 36 hours before the court today, all the families were told. Sold a bit of a story, to be honest. You probably won't get me with a sales pitch, Ali, but that's extremely disappointing, and I'll continue to fight.
So how important were those manslaughter charges to you?
They're extremely important, not from a revenge perspective at all, okay? But the contributing facts, I'd like to thank the New South Wales Police for their in-depth investigation. They provided the DPP with very clear evidence on many fronts of the criminality, and the criminality is manslaughter. So to reduce to lesser charges, it's not balanced. It's if you take 10 lives from performing criminal acts, it's criminal to drive a heavy vehicle in Australia, particularly with 35 passengers on board, when you're medicated.
That's exactly it, right? This is we learned that the bus driver was addicted to opioids. He had prescription drugs in his system at the time, Adam. I mean, here he is speeding, driving dangerously on prescription drugs. You've got 10 people dead. If you don't get manslaughter for that, what does it take?
You know, somebody who's performing a criminal act and driving a bus with 35 passengers who are being responsible to get home from a wedding because they've been drinking or partying or whatever. That's just the anger that evokes.
Yep.
Yeah. Too much.
I get it, Adam, because, I mean, Zach and everyone on that bus, they did the right thing. They had their plan B. They were meant to get home safely.
Hey, look, Zach, he loves having fun, Ali, as everybody at the age of 29 does. He's a responsible pilot. He's a mining engineer. His whole life, his whole world is about safety. You can't walk on a mining site without being tested for drugs and alcohol because there's heavy machinery, there's lives involved. Yet here we have Links Coach Lines bus owners not having no testing protocols, have nothing at all. This is a driver who has form. This is a driver who was moved on voluntarily for privacy reasons from his former employer for driving a bus and laughing with school kids sliding around bus seats, Ali, and falling on the floor. He walks down the road protected by privacy provisions, gets a job with Links. They don't do any due diligence. Boom, they put a killer behind the wheel of a coach. They kill 10 people. That is manslaughter.
And instead, what do? You get a plea deal where he pleads guilty to 10 charges of dangerous driving occasioning death. And for you and the other families, it's just another kick in the teeth, right?
You know what that equates to from a sentencing perspective? Manslaughter is minimum 25, right? Because he's pleaded guilty, this criminal will be out in 7.5 years' time. Right, we'll go to some regional town and start driving a coach or a bus. Yeah, this is wrong. This is not anger, it's not revenge, it's justice. You know, we've got to go up, not down with the charges. It's just totally wrong.
Your son's life and those of everyone on that bus, they deserve more than this.
Do the math on it, Ali. Do the math. They deserve a whole lot more. What does it send to victims' families? What does it send to the general public? What does it send to other irresponsible rogue bus drivers? It's okay, guys. Get your opium-based medication. Don't tell your boss. Have a sloppy operator you work for, like Link's coach lines, and jump behind the wheel of the bus. Yeah, let's go.
Explain to me then the emotions of the last year and how important justice is and what you've got today.
I'm on a path to heal, but this is, obviously there's some anger, there's some emotions which I'll try to let pass through me, but this is more than a kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
It's totally wrong. And does it need to take these 10 lives to fix bus and coast safety in Australia, firstly? Yeah. Does it need to be the example? Does it need to take these 10 lives and all the suffering of the families and everyone associated and 25 survivors? Does this need to take these 10 lives to change the justice system? Why is it on us?
Because far too often, Adam, this is what we see with the justice system, that once we get to the courts, you're suffering. It's not about that anymore. We hear it's all about the perpetrator, and we heard in court today how he suffers depression and has anxiety. I mean, tell me how your depression has been over the past 12 months since you lost your son.
Well, my emotions towards the individual are zero, okay? I've learned to process that. The point is this. He shouldn't be driving. He shouldn't be given... It's not about remorse, but you're going to sit there and say, oh, I'm sorry I did this. There is no, that's totally irrelevant. This is a criminal act, times 10. So, emotionally for us, pretty much almost back to square one. Processing it, another massive challenge, and we'll do our best to get through it, but also try to get law reform so that 10 beautiful people did not die in vain.
Yep. It can't be for nothing, can it?
Cannot be.
Yeah. Look, I know how you and many families are feeling about this today, but then you, on the other hand, you have Darcy Bullman's boyfriend. He's actually pleased with the results, as he says it allows him to try and move forward with his life. We have to respect his feelings today too, I guess, don't we?
Oh, for sure. And part of the sales pitch from the DPP with the backflip on the charges, removing manslaughter, was that this will probably be good and we can help heal and we can all get on with it. That's totally irrelevant. This is about justice. Yeah. Let's put healing away. Let's put the driver's conditions to the side. He knows what he's done. It's very poor character to try to get people to defend you when you know what you've done. Yeah? You stood by the side of the road. You did not assist in any of the emergency safety efforts. You sat there medicated, climbed out of the front window of this coach where my son and others were mutilated, and stood there. So what compassion should I have? What compassion should we have for this individual?
I don't know how you find any when you put it like that, Adam.
Yeah, very, very difficult. There's not hatred. I said it's not revenge, but I have zero emotion towards it, Ali. Yeah. I can't allow myself to hurt myself and damage my soul any further with putting any emotion, any thought at all into this individual.
Because Zach, your son, I mean, he was just 29. He'd not long survived cancer. This was meant to be his time, Adam, and in a way, you've got to go on and live it for him. Exactly,
and that's what really was his time to shine. He's not here, Ali. His advocacy for bowel cancer awareness as a survivor of stage 3 bowel cancer, incredible, man.
Yeah. As are you, Adam.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I'm so sorry that the process played out as it has. It's not fair.
Well, unfortunately, we anticipated it. It's far from fair. Let's try to rally around government, try to rally around attorney generals, get some public opinion. Let's try to create some fairness. That's all we can do, Ali.
Adam, I know what the public opinion is. It's on your side. Thanks for talking to us today. Look after yourself.
Thanks for your time. You're golden.
Yep.
Take care. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they were returning from a day of love, happiness, a wedding, and to all end as it did. I mean, what those families are going through right now, when you hold on to hope that you'll at least get justice, see change, only to learn that your voice doesn't count. And I'm not sure it means much, but we all hear you, and we'll continue to push for law reform.